3 cousins, 1 inherited house, 50 years of belongings still inside. And one of them wanted to spend $80,000 fixing it up before they sold it. His reasoning? Spend $80,000 now and make an extra $200,000 at closing. There was just one problem. The house had unpermitted additions, 50 years of deferred decisions, and years of cigarette smoke and nicotine in the walls and the floors everywhere throughout the home. That $80,000 renovation could have been a very expensive mistake. And this isn't a hypothetical. This is a listing appointment that I walked into just a few weeks ago. The 3 cousins had inherited the property together here in California, and each one had a completely different idea about what should happen next. One wanted it handled, one wanted to understand what the house actually needed, and one wanted to renovate. So I'm gonna show you what we did before they spent a dollar, because if your family is having the same conversation, there are a few things that I would want to know before anyone hires a contractor. Here's where the $80,000 plan started to fall apart. First, we had to understand the unpermitted additions. Before spending money improving those areas, we needed to know what was actually permitted and what wasn't, and how a buyer's appraiser and the local jurisdiction might treat that space. The last thing you want is to spend thousands of dollars improving something only to discover that there's a much bigger issue underneath it. Second, a house that hasn't been touched in 50 years usually needs to be cleared and assessed before anyone can accurately judge what the state it's really in. Clutter isn't a renovation problem, it's a visibility problem. You can't price repairs that you can't see yet. Third, that projected $200,000 return assumes a renovation that comes in on time, on budget, and exactly to plan. Yeah, that sounds really good on paper, but contractors overrun on their timing. There's permit delays, unexpected repairs, and even changes in what buyers want can eat into that number before it even reaches closing. And fourth, smoke and nicotine damages doesn't just stay on the surface. It can settle into the drywall, the flooring, the ductwork, and all other porous material. A fresh coat of paint may not solve that problem. Odor can come back, and proper remediation can involve specialty primers, cleaning, ductwork, flooring removal, and sometimes there's so much more involved in that. None of that was included in the original $80,000 plan. There's also a reason renovation television can give families the wrong idea about selling. Those shows are designed around transformation. Selling is about return. So those are 2 very different goals. One of my viewers, Bob, actually summed it up perfectly in the comments. Ignore all advice from popular TV shows. I laughed when I read that, but there's some truth to it. If you're gonna live in the house for 10 years and enjoy that new kitchen, that's one calculation. But if you're gonna sell it in 3 months, it's a completely different calculation. And the cousin who didn't want to participate in a major renovation wasn't being difficult. He simply wasn't comfortable committing the estate to an $80,000 project without knowing whether the numbers made sense. And if you're a homeowner over 60 and you're helping your parent or family navigate a home that they've owned for decades, subscribe. I put out new videos every week to help families make these decisions with fewer surprises and fewer costly mistakes. Now, here's the part that really matters. How do you get 3 people with 3 different plans all onto the same page? First, get a professional walkthrough before anyone spends a dollar. That means a local real estate professional who understands what buyers are actually responding to in that market. And when appropriate, a licensed contractor who can give you real bids, not guesses, not assumptions, actual black and white numbers. And this matters even more in a changing market. What worked during the frenzy of the pandemic market does not automatically work today. And that's why having an experienced real estate professional on your side matters so much. Someone who can guide you, educate you, and help you make the best decisions for your family based on what the market is actually doing now. Second, turn opinions into facts. I pulled comparable sales of similar homes in similar condition, including homes that sold as is and homes that had been renovated. Then I sat the cousins down and went through those numbers together. This is the part that trips people up because When it's one cousin's opinion against another, nobody wins the argument, right? But when everyone's looking at the same comps, the same contractor bids, and then the same estimated cost, there's much less to argue about. And this is the sentence I want you to remember. If someone in your family says, let's put $80,000 into it, we'll make it back when we sell. Here's what I would say instead. Before we spend anything, let's find out what the house is worth as is, what it could realistically be worth renovated, and what it actually costs to get from one number to the other. That's it. You're not telling them they're wrong. You're saying, let's get the numbers first. Third, let a neutral third party carry the hard conversation. That's genuinely the part of what I'm here for. Nobody has to be the villain in their own family for suggesting the house sells as is. And that's exactly what happened with these three cousins. Once everyone saw the comps, the contractor numbers, the permit issues, and what the house could realistically sell for in its current condition, the $80,000 renovation plan just simply went away. They decided to clear the property and prepare to sell it as is. Nobody had to win the argument because the numbers won it for them. And I want you to walk away remembering this. Not every dollar that you put into a house comes back out. Knowing that before you spend, it can be worth more than the upgrade itself. I've seen this play out with a lot of families, and the ones who stay on track are usually the ones who get real numbers before they get into an argument. If your family's trying to decide whether to fix up the house, sell it as is, or just figure out what it's worth before anybody spends a dollar, schedule a free call with me or a member of my team. The link is in the description. And if you're outside of Ventura or Los Angeles County, I can also help connect you with a vetted real estate professional in your area. And if you inherited a house with your siblings, there are 3 red flags that I want you watching out for before anyone clears out the house, moves into it, or signs an offer. That's what I'm covering in my next video. So subscribe and make sure you don't miss it. But before you go, if you're thinking about selling a long-time home, watch this video next. I'll show you 10 things that are scaring buyers right now. Here it is.